Coming up on a special edition of Miami Dolphins All Access, the Dolphins and NBC6 go international. Joe Rose and Adam Cooperstein join the Finns across the pond to showcase the NFL's journey to London. Over the next hour, experience all the sights and sounds of England with the Dolphins players, fans, and cheerleaders. Plus, get an inside look at preparations for today's historic game against the Giants from New York. And it's all live next on the British invasion of Miami Dolphins, All Access live in London.
You're looking at Wembley Stadium, where in about an hour and a half, over 90,000 fans will fill the stadium to watch the New York Giants take on the Miami Dolphins. Hey, take a look at this. The National Football League is well represented. Look at all the fans wearing jerseys from all over the league. Yes, they've made their way overseas, as well as just a bunch of European fans that love their American football. Hello, everybody. I'm Joe Rose, along with Adam Cooperstein, and this really has been so much fun to be part of history and what's going to take place in the National Football League today.
Yeah, it's the history in the making. It's been a crazy weekend, Joe. We've been there from start to finish. We came on the plane with the team, and we're going to make it feel like you're on this road trip with us. A long road trip, but it's been an interesting couple of days for the Dolphins, who are very well represented. Definitely more Dolphins fans than Giants fans.
Can you tease me real quickly on some of the things we have going on here today?
Yeah, let me tell you what's coming up on the show. All kinds of stuff for the Dolphins. Of course, it's a football game. This is a business trip, and we'll follow the team's every single move around town.
And it's not all work for the team as they get together for a very special tour of the Tower of London.
We're pretty sure the English are ready for American football, but are they prepared for Joe Rose? The big dog hits the pavement as he tries to blend in.
Well, they're never ready for that. Hey, what's 26 feet tall and wearing aqua and orange? That's a supersized version of Jason Taylor. How was he received? Stay tuned and you'll find out.
All right, well, this stadium, Wembley Stadium, famous for soccer, has been transformed into an American football field. The Dolphins wanted to get a feel for it, so they had a walk through here yesterday, trying to keep the routine as normal as possible with Coach Cam Cameron. And they went to the stadium. This will be the first American football game ever at the new stadium. And though it didn't feel like it was back home in South Florida, a lot of Giants colors actually inside. Just a coincidence, though. It's impressive. Over 90,000 people will fill the place up to see this game.
It's still football. I mean, we're doing meetings and doing our schedule a lot, so it's very similar. It's different living at a hotel for 3 days, and it's different having your family on the road, things like that. But other than that, it's still football. It's just a little more work to do to get to where you need to be, and trying to figure out what time you got to be there with the time change. But other than that, it's the same.
All right, joining us live now here in London, the owner of the Miami Dolphins, Wayne Huizenga. What a pleasure to have you, and you've been enjoying this trip. It's got to be amazing to see Dolphins fans turn out like this in London.
It really is. It's fantastic. It's a great crowd. The stadium has been sold over many, many, many times. In fact, the Prime Minister told us the other day that they've had over 1 million requests for tickets. And so it's really been a great success thus far. Hopefully we can have a great success on the field today. We've got a little London fog raining on us here today, but it's really been fun, and there's lots and lots of Dolphin fans here.
Wayne, is it what you expected it to be? You come over, you have a few Dolphin fans, but is this what you thought it would be?
Well, we knew we had more fans over here than any other team in the country, and so we wanted to protect that a little bit. Come over here. We spent a lot of time with our fan club members over here. We've had a lot of fun with them the last couple of days. They've really participated, and yes, we have a lot more fans here than we even thought we did, and we want to keep that going.
Absolutely. Wayne, I was really anxious to see how fans would receive this game once it actually got here. You've been here the last few days. You've been in town. Have you been pleasantly surprised? Yeah. Has it been promoted the way you want it to be promoted?
They've done a great job. We're really pleased. It's been real exciting. It's on all the papers. It's on all the radio stations. It's on all the television stations. Everybody's enthused and excited about it. And they try to compare us with soccer. Of course, we can't be compared to soccer. It's a different game. And so it's gotten a lot of great press.
Wayne, also, you saw a little bit of soccer. Speaking of soccer, Chelsea, Manchester, what was it like to watch a little soccer?
it was all soccer. I mean, they won big yesterday, 6-0, 2 in the first half. But they play 45 minutes straight, then they go for a half, and then another 45 minutes straight. It was a lot of fun, but there's no pomp and circumstance like we have here. I mean, there's one small video board, and that's it. There's no replays, they don't do anything. It's just all on the field. It was a lot of fun to watch.
All right, Wayne, thank you so much for being with us. It's going to be a lot of fun today. It really is. It's been great bringing the National Football League over here.
We're happy to represent the NFL in its first overseas game.
We've had a heck of a time. Thanks, Wayne.
All right. Now, the deal with this game at first, we just talked to Wayne about it, Joe. At first, some fans were skeptical. They said they're losing a home game, and some were disappointed. But a lot of people looked at this as a great opportunity to take a little vacation out to London and see some football. But nobody was more excited about this announcement and this regular season game in London than a group of fans we caught up with last night.
Tucked away inside a dark, unassuming house on the outskirts of London, a group gathers. A group you'd expect to see at a sports bar in South Florida.
Go Dolphins!
But this is the headquarters of the Dolph Fan Club UK. And this is the day they've all been waiting for.
The Dolphins have probably always been the best supported NFL team in the UK, always.
They know the fight song, they know the players, and unlike so many other Europeans, they know the rules of the game and how to throw a proper party.
Go Dolphins! That's right, go Dolphins!
How do you become a Dolphins fan in the UK?
Literally just turning on the TV one day, seeing this unusual game, didn't understand anything about it. It was like a really physical game of chess. I could see there was lots of tactics, and I was fascinated.
The reason I became a Dolphins fan in Scotland was actually because in the 80s, when it first came onto the TV here, and there was a young quarterback called Dan Marino, and we all got hooked on him.
Apparently, the Dolphins' influence at that time spread beyond the United Kingdom, because in addition to the 100 or so UK fan club members, we also ran into the president of Dolph Fan Club Italia. He got hooked after watching Miami play the Redskins in the Super Bowl.
Before that game, I make the choice. I be a Dolphin fan.
The Dolphins organization realizes how important these fans are in making this game in London feel like a true home game. So as a token of their gratitude, they arranged for a visit from the cheerleaders and a very special gift, a personalized and autographed Dan Marino jersey. Their passion, their enthusiasm, so contagious, it almost makes you forget the Dolphins are 0-7.
You support your team no matter what, in the good times and the bad times.
When a team is not doing well, we get behind them even more.
We will give the Miami Dolphin players 100%, and all we ask is the same back.
Those are some loyal fans right there, huh?
Passionate. Holy.
It's amazing the influence Marino had, too, in those great years in the 80s with the Dolphins. Hopefully it'll last, and these guys will come out here today and keep on rooting for him.
I have noticed one thing, I think you have too, for all the Dolphin fans, they're just excited about having the National Football League regular season game here. Aren't even talking about records. A little bit different than South Florida right now.
And just so everyone knows, those fans are not the majority of the people we've encountered around here. A lot of people don't even know much about the game. They don't know the rules. And I asked those guys, why has not everyone else accepted it the way you guys have? And a lot of people are just hesitant to change because rugby and soccer is so popular. And it's hard to convince people, but they need more promotion, more games like this. So this is the start of hopefully the globalization of the game.
And there is a little competition, Arsenal and Liverpool taking place.
It's the big game. It's going to be tough. All right, don't go away. We're just getting started. Miami Dolphins All Access. Be right back after this.
Coming up next, it's time to go on holiday with our very own travel guru, defensive lineman Vonnie Holiday. Find out what went on as the team traveled to the UK when we return to Miami Dolphins All Access live in London.
Miami Dolphins All Access is brought to you by Nova Southeastern University, Publix, and Sprint.
Welcome back to a very special edition of Miami Dolphins All Access from jolly old England, where the fans have turned out in massive numbers. Lots of football fans wearing jerseys. This place is a little crazy. It's kind of like a Super Bowl field, isn't it?
They don't tailgate. They go to pubs. And Some of them have been drinking a little bit behind us as they come over, but you better. Some are making their way right now, having a good time coming right out of the pub. You better take it away.
All right, Joe, I got to admit, when I first heard about this game, I thought American football in England is about as foreign as cricket in the United States. It just doesn't make sense. But there's a rhyme and reason to all this, and we're going to explain to you the NFL's master plan behind this regular season game between the Dolphins and Giants happening today. If it's good to be a Miami Dolphin, it's even better to be the Miami Dolphins travel agent. Over the years, the Dolphins have been the globetrotters of the NFL, having played in London, Berlin, and Mexico City, competing in front of hundreds of thousands of international fans, all in an effort to grow the game. But while it was football, it wasn't really football, as in the games didn't count. But that all changed right before the Super Bowl, when league owners voted and made their global intentions clear. They wanted worldwide dominance, and they wanted the games to count.
Two great teams, two world-known franchises in the Miami Dolphins and the New York Giants.
The Dolphins, no strangers to circling the globe, were selected for the game based on their popularity around the planet.
We're proud to be a part of this historic event.
This is an honor for us to be asked to go to London to play this game. They're asking the Miami Dolphins, and they understand the tradition that we have, and I think that's a compliment to all of us.
Dolphin fans may be angered over the loss of a home game, but the players and organization feel the complete opposite, knowing that they have become ambassadors of America's greatest game.
Looking at the bigger picture and trying to expand the game globally, this will be, I think, a big step in doing that.
You know, the bigger picture is we do whatever we can to make the NFL as strongest as possible. It's the greatest sport that we have. It's the greatest league there is, and we're enthused and excited about it. And you know, we're gonna do our best.
For the Dolphins to do their part, they'll have to properly showcase the game of football to those fans who live and breathe football. But they'll get some help from a city that desperately wants to become part of the global community we call Planet Football.
We will do everything we can to make sure the league never forgets. It was a memorable and brave step to come to London, but one will be the start of American League football really becoming a part of the British sporting scene.
Well, the show is called Miami Dolphins All Access, and we wanted to bring you behind the scenes as this team is taking this most unusual road trip inside the team hotel. A lot of interesting things going on. So we gave Vonnie Holliday, the Dolphins defensive lineman, a little video camera to see what the guys were up to. It got fun. Check it out.
I am going backwards now. This is not rewind because Jason Taylor is calling me right now.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at you, man.
What's up?
Want me to put you on tape?
What do you do?
I know you want to be on TV so bad. Go ahead.
It's your boy, Vonnie Holliday, coming live to you. Actually, it's not live.
You got to back up because the light level is pretty low.
The meeting of the minds. It's the wives. The women behind.
With the hats. We're Dixie.
Oh, the hats. What'd you ladies do today? The night before, this is our snack. See all the guys in here lined up. This happens every week, but now we're doing it in London. Check out the spread, ladies and gentlemen. This is our snack / dinner. Little beef, little turkey. Hey, that's the man behind special teams right there, Keith, Coach Keith Armstrong right there, big time. Setting those guys straight, getting them right. No holds barred, baby. Good people, do anything for them. Give them a ride home.
Let you use my AAA card.
Donnie, that's what he does right there. He eats.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah. You gotta play that 3 technique. You dragging your feet coming back.
Since I'm beat down, you gotta play 3 technique.
You dragging your feet coming back.
How many times you gonna eat today, bro?
Acting like you hurt, bro.
Come on, man. It's a real deal. A little pasta, a little meat sauce. This is it's almost the same as our pregame meal. This is our chef, I guess. He prepared all this nice food for us.
It's all different, you know.
It is?
It's completely different.
From what you would normally cook?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And they put this special request in for us to eat this?
That's all specially done for you, according to specifications, yeah. Just for you.
This is a little different for us right here. That's the English flair, the European flair they threw on things. As you can see, it's not a whole lot, but you know, they had to put their touch to things. A little fruit bar for the guys who want to stay healthy. We've got a couple guys that are big, got weight problems, can't wait to eat, so we keep a little fruit out for them. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, Paul. who's very tired right now. He's going to have a big game tomorrow. Thank you. Big game tomorrow from Big Paul. I can feel it, ladies and gentlemen. I own this guy in dominoes. I own this guy right here in dominoes. I own you, man. We played all day today, and I beat him down. There they go, our safeties. Our young safeties gonna make it happen for us tomorrow. Gonna get right. I believe. You believe? Just look confident. If nothing else, just look confident. That says a lot about you. Exactly.
Oh, Vonnie Holiday is our best reporter we have. I got to be honest, he is something else. Well, one of our best reporters. Hey, I'll tell you something else. He's expecting to be back for the Buffalo game after the bye week. The Dolphins could obviously use him at the defensive tackle position.
Good to see the players goofing around a little bit, but we are here for a football game. Can't forget that, despite all the hype. Dolphins desperately need a win. Let's get your keys to the game, Joe, and get right to it. The first thing, another big-time wide receiver. The Dolphins secondary banged up. How are they going to stop Plaxico Burress?
Well, they need to play a lot better. The coverage needs to be tighter. It's going to be tough. Cameron Worrell and Jason Allen probably will start at the safety position, and you're right. They've struggled against big wide receivers. Plaxico Burress as big as anybody in the National Football League. Jeremy Shockey also running down the middle of the field. They're going to have to get a strong pass rush and do a better job in coverage.
All right, number 2, how about the Dolphins wide receivers? We saw a little bit from Ted Ginn and Derek Hagan last week. You got to see more this week, though, right?
Well, I think Derek Hagan and Ted Ginn, that's the future of this team, and they need to be a bigger part of the offense, especially with Ronnie Brown out now. They've got to get him the ball. We started to see him last week, had 7 catches between them. We need more this week, some big plays. They love both of them. The Dolphins have seen enough to believe that they are the future of this team. We'll see how they play today.
Joe, besides Ronnie Brown, one of the other bright spots of this Dolphins team this year, one of the few, has been the offensive line protecting the quarterback, but this Giants pass rush is unbelievable.
Well, this will be their biggest test so far this season. They're going against a front 7 for the New York Giants that already has 27 sacks on the season. They're loaded, and their team and the success they've had so far starts up front on the defensive side of the ball, where they've been really unbelievable at stopping the run and getting a good pass rush.
All right, Joe, the good news is Jason Taylor said it earlier in the week, the Dolphins are winless at home, undefeated outside of America. So let's see if they can keep it that way, huh?
Nothing to lose. Go out, take chances, have fun, and stop worrying about getting their first win. Be competitive, keep it close, and have a chance to win late. That's the way the Dolphins have to look at this.
All right, that's Joe's breakdown, but don't you go away. We are going to be back in London. Miami Dolphins All Access after this.
What happens when Joe Rose is unleashed in the fair city of London? And will the kingdom ever be the same? Oh, the horror. Joe's British Invasion and Jason Taylor transforms when Miami Dolphins Live in London returns.
Tonight's Miami Dolphins All Access is brought to you by Publix, State Farm, and Wachovia.
Welcome back to Miami Dolphins All Access, live from London, where the Dolphins are about an hour away from kicking off the first ever regular season NFL game in England, outside North America. This is a monumental event. And, Joe, I'm not sure, did you manage to stay out of trouble? Because you don't do that in South Florida. Why would it be different over here, right?
You know, I love to give people a hard time. So I've never been to Europe before, so I thought it would be a good opportunity to kind of get out to London area and see if these people really like football and if they're very friendly. I'm in front of Buckingham Palace, and I can't wait to find out if people are fired up about the Giants and Dolphins playing on Sunday. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Are you guys here for the game on Sunday?
Yeah,
the
I am.
Dolphins and the Giants?
Dolphins and the Giants. Yeah,
you guys
exactly.
all here for Giants, Dolphins? Yeah? No? Yeah? Hey, guys. Can I ask you a question? Dolphins or Giants on Sunday?
Dolphins.
But football is where you throw the ball football, not kick the ball football, right?
Yeah.
So what's the real football?
This.
That's a good foot.
What is that?
Excuse me, operator. Did you know that there's a football game between the Miami Dolphins and the New York Giants on Sunday? You didn't. Okay. She only knows about soccer. Who do you like, the Dolphins or the Giants on Sunday?
You gotta like the Giants, right? The Dolphins haven't won yet this year. Couldn't tell you. No idea.
Excuse me, who do you guys like, Dolphins or Giants this Sunday?
Dolphins. What do you mean the animals or what?
Sir, who do you like, Dolphins or Giants on Sunday? Dolphins or Giants on Sunday? Dolphins. Good choice.
Great work, Joe. That's all we needed to dispel all the reputations of the big dumb American thing over here in Europe.
Oh,
Good
no,
job,
I had the big bullseye right there, babe. They're looking at me going, yeah, that's Joe Rose, the big dummy over here, trying to promote American football. They love their soccer, let's not forget.
And you needed some culture anyway. Your first trip outside of America, let's be honest.
Wanted to make sure, you know, they were having a little fun with me and see how they do.
All right, now the Dolphins, when they traveled here on this overnight flight, they were exhausted. They got in on Friday morning. We were there with them. You can excuse the players. They went straight to practice. You can excuse them for not being overly anxious at first to go on a team mandatory tour of the Tower of London. But once the players got to this unbelievable sight, their opinion quickly changed of this iconic symbol of British history. You got to check this out.
Phil Wilson.
Greeting Cam Cameron and his Miami Dolphins at the gates of the Tower of London, the Yeoman Warders, also known as Beefeaters, their job to prepare the players and their families for a stroll through history.
This goes back to 1100. You know, something old in the United States is 1700, and this goes back, almost 1,000 years.
Jay Feely knows his stuff. Of course, this is his second visit to the famous castle founded by William the Conqueror.
It's amazing. There's a lot of torture chambers, a lot of things that went on that were common in that day and that we can't really fathom today. But London is a historic city, and it's the gateway to Europe, and it's a special place to be here.
With the famous crown jewels inside, we were not allowed to bring our video camera in, or else we'd suffer the same fate of Henry VI. But hopefully these photographs will give you a taste of the players' eye-opening experience.
Early, it was overcast. You didn't really get a chance to see a whole lot, but now, as the city's lighting up, it's really starting to look real nice. It's still a business trip, and with our focus is here to win a football game, but at the same time you have to keep a lot of things in perspective, and you got a lot of history around it.
Well, what an amazing place. History from the 11th century. I'm kind of glad, though, you weren't there, Joe. The crown jewels are there. You don't want to be ruining that crown by putting it on that big, massive head of yours, huh?
I actually was making history in every pub I could find. Thank you. It was fun.
Different kind of history, right?
Different kind of history.
All right, don't go away. We'll be back live from London on Miami Dolphins All Access.
Straight ahead, will playing on the opposite side of the world affect the Dolphins' game plan? We'll go inside the huddle and find out from the coach himself when we step into Cam's Corner next on Miami Dolphins All Access, live in London.
Miami Dolphins All Access is brought to you by Publix, Sprint, and Wachovia.
Welcome back to Miami Dolphins All Access, live from London, where the NFL is trying to change and redefine the definition of football in Europe. We're talking American football today.
Trying to get into a new market, there's no question about it, one that American football really has just a small piece of, and they're looking to get a lot more, like soccer is, coming to the United States and other places.
And all the Dolphins are on board, including Coach Cam Cameron.
Well, it's fun. I had a chance to sit down with Cam Cameron just a few days ago to talk about the 0-7 record, yes, and all the injuries that have come with it. And this is what the coach had to say.
Coach, obviously, besides the 0-7, start to lose somebody like Ronnie Brown that's been so productive, really, it's got to be a big, tough loss for this team.
Well, you feel for Ronnie Brown and all the effort that he put into, to have the kind of season he was having. He was having a Pro Bowl season. But I will say this, right when a guy has already impressed you, and then you see him in the situation he's in, he's impressed me even more, Joe, because he knows, hey, I've got to go get this knee done. I want to start the rehab. He says, Coach, I'm going to be fine. He said, and I'll be ready to go next year. And I sense that he's ready to get this taken care of and pick up right where he left off. Obviously, from our team standpoint, you lose a lot of productivity, but it's part of the game. Ronnie gives you the ability, or gave us the ability, to do some pretty traditional things at a pretty high level. With Jesse, Jesse can do a lot of things similar. Is he Ronnie Brown? No, he's Jesse Chapman. And so we'll do, he's a good runner, he's a pretty good receiver, so we can do a lot of the same things. We're going to have to be a little more creative.
You come off a game against maybe the best team we've seen in a long time, the New England Patriots. What do you tell your troops as you get them back together and get ready for the trip to England?
Well, number one, let's not kid ourselves. That is a good football team. And in no way are we going to accept what happened in the first half of the game. But I did tell them this week, we challenged everybody to be professionals. And what I found as I look back at the tape of that game in the second half is some of the true professionals stepped up and played extremely well. But the most important thing was I saw some young guys starting to become professionals. Whether it be Ted Ginn, Derek Hagan made some plays, started to become professionals. And that's what we need. We need the guys that we have to deliver, and we need our young guys to continue to grow. Defensively, we had some young guys come in there and said, hey, this is my opportunity. I'm going to do everything I can to get this offense shut down, and for the exceptional one drive, we were able to do that.
Change of scenery, good for this team maybe to go over to England and play the Giants?
Could be. I know I had a chance to go over in the spring. I know how excited everybody in the UK is to have us over there and have this game. And it'll be interesting. I don't think our record, or even New York's record for that matter, obviously they're having a great year, is going to affect the enthusiasm for this game. I think we're excited to go play. It's going to be a great environment to play, and we're looking forward to playing good football.
Well, as the saying goes, there's no place like home unless you're the Miami Dolphins, where it hasn't been very pretty so far. Actually, downright ugly as we take a look. So far this season, 3 home games at Dolphin Stadium against the Patriots, Raiders, and Cowboys have yet to produce a win for the team. So home game number 4 is now at Wembley Stadium, and the change of scenery is a welcome change to the team, and it might be just what they need to try to salvage this season.
I've never been there, so I'm trying to be positive and think we can go out there. And JT was joking, we can't win in the U.S. Let's get out there and see if we can win in London. So we'll go out there. I guess they sold a bunch of tickets, so it should be a good crowd to play in front of, and try to enjoy it.
It'd be a great experience for a lot of guys. I've never been over there, but it'll be a huge game just on the simple fact that it's in London. It's gonna be like 90,000 fans there. So if those type of things can get you up to play a football game, you're in the wrong business anyway.
Well, one of my favorite moments from this weekend, while all the rest of us were working, Joe, you were watching TV, trying to find some American sports.
I saw a lot of soccer. It was great.
All soccer on TV. It's hard to find some American sports.
That was a shot.
Yeah, it sure was. But there is some football on TV on Sundays, and the guys who do watch it, I've talked to a lot of people, it's still not really that familiar. They don't know all the rules of the game, and that includes a rugby team that we ran into, the London Wasps, who got a private lesson from the Miami Dolphins when they held their first practice over here in England at their home field.
The reigning NFL Defensive Player of the Year just an arm's length away. All right, that's pretty cool. Trying on running back Jesse Chapman's helmet, that's pretty good too. But for this pro rugby team from London, nothing was more fascinating than a ball strike by kicker Jay Feely.
Yeah, he's very impressive, that guy. He's hitting them all every time straight over, which is it's pretty good, pretty impressive, really. So I imagine it's pretty hard to kick one of those balls compared to our ball.
I think the balls have been the interesting issue. Like, as soon as you guys got here, we were quite interested in the American football, and have had quite a lot of interest in our Premiership rugby balls.
Feely was so interested, he decided to give it a boot, and the rugby players got quite a kick out of the experience.
It's so surreal having an American football team come over and play in the UK, let alone training at our training ground. It's really surprising.
Yeah, it's really good they come down and train. I don't know what they think about our facilities. I mean, they're not quite up to what they used to, but no, I'm sure we're really happy to have them here.
And I don't know much about the game, but I do know some of the rules as well. Some of the players is getting big over here, and people are really enjoying it. But there's so many other sports here the boys are really into, especially with the soccer and rugby is getting big, especially after the World Cup. So it's hard for them just to come in after the World Cup. Us doing so well, but I'm sure if it were like an annual event, it could be quite successful, yeah, in the UK.
Yeah, Team England's rugby team just was the runner-up in the championships. They're still crazy about that sport. Soccer, they love everything. We were trying to figure it out, Joe. Where does American football rank among the sports here? What do you think?
It's still down at the bottom. There's no question. Soccer first. Rugby is right there. It's very popular behind soccer, and then American football falls down somewhere below tennis. And
yeah, it's kind of like, I'd say, like in America, Indy racing or tennis. I mean, unless there's a major story, it's not making the front page. The front page of the newspaper today, all about that big soccer game competing with this. So still got a ways to go, and we got some more coming up on this show. Stay tuned. Miami Dolphins All Access is back after this.
When Joe and Adam return, the lovely Andrea Brody joins us from back home in South Florida at a Dolphin gathering fit for a king. We'll hit the party circuit at Dolphin Palace, Stadium, when we return on Miami Dolphins All Access live in London.
Welcome back to Miami Dolphins All Access, a special hour-long edition live from London, where, Joe, it always seems to be a little gloomy out here, but beautiful scenery, just a little dark, isn't it?
This got a little feel of a Northeast football game, late November, early December. It's got that feel to it. And by the way, the temperature is perfect for football players.
I agree. And you know what? It was also good for some sightseeing, not too cold, and luckily this special trip, the Dolphins had all the players have the chance to bring their significant others with them on the team plane. Unusual. You don't see that too often for NFL regular season games. So the players' wives were here, and we wanted to see how they were bonding and enjoying the scenery. We went out there with them. Check it out.
There are two sides to this London road trip for the Miami Dolphins. You've got the players who are here on business, and their wives who want to soak up the sights as much as they can.
Oh, it was just amazing. Just to be down there, I just thought of my family, wishing they could be here to see it all. My grandfather, I got a postcard to send him back. Winston Churchill, he'd be so proud that I got to see all those wonderful things.
There's history at every turn in London, and former Dolphin Keith Sims took notice. He was part of a group that traveled to the Churchill Museum. This is where the former Prime Minister Winston Churchill and his cabinet were held up during World War II.
And I was speechless going through there. I mean, you're riveted. You think back to the days when you studied this in school and high school, and to go into a place that they actually used during World War II and filled with that history was incredible. I mean, I'm still touched this moment.
As the group continued to walk through the streets, they saw the changing of the House Guard and went to Westminster Abbey. An eventful day for all, but Katina Taylor just had to make sure that everyone was having a good time.
Smile. Hello, excuse me. How's your trip going, Lisette?
Oh, we're having a great time seeing all these beautiful historic sites we've never seen before.
Are y'all having fun here in London?
We are.
Don't shy away from me.
I won't. No, we're having great fun.
Well, how was your experience in there?
It was really cool. It was really cool to see all the, especially his room, I thought, because it was left in the original condition. I love it here, except for the weather.
I'm not good at this anymore. I'm a has-been.
Joe, you got a chance to do a little quick sightseeing yourself. Favorite spot so far?
I've been very impressed with their history. Their history, you see it every day when you walk around and you sightsee, and the tours are just fantastic. Down by the Parliament, security, everything that goes with it, I was just so impressed.
I think Big Ben is awesome. Just seeing it. It's not as big as I thought, to be honest. It's a little smaller in person, but.
Would you go on top of the London Eye just between us?
No, I got to do that. Yeah, the biggest Ferris wheel in the entire world. 30 minutes to go around.
That's too high, and the wind was blowing last night. I'm not going up.
You're scared of heights.
Big chicken.
Yeah, you are. All right, now as you see, the lights are on behind us here at Wembley Stadium, where the Dolphins are going to play what's called a home game against the Giants today. But back at home, there's a big party going on at Dolphin Stadium, and Andrea Brody's out there mixing it up live at the stadium. Andrea, what's going on?
Hey, Adam and Joe. This is, as you said, a home game, so it's only appropriate that I'd be here. But they're trying to make the experience as authentic to London as possible, including some passing showers. Man who needs no introduction. His cell phone just went off. I was afraid it was going to explode. Bond, James Bond. You're part of the day here, and you're not alone, right?
No, I'm not. Her Majesty dispatched me to come here from across the pond in the Dolphins' absence.
Wait a second. A second ago, you sounded like you were from Delray. Now you're really in character.
Of course, I must be. I'm bonding here today.
And take a look at how close to Sean Connery John Allen really looks. That is fantastic. All day long, they're going to be inviting season ticket holders out here to experience a little bit of the London flavor. Behind me, we've got a match going on. This is cricket, and I imagine if you asked me to explain cricket to you, I'd sound a lot like the folks you asked to explain NFL football. I have not got a clue as to what they're doing, but there's 16 guys from Broward, 16 guys from a team in Weston, and they have the fans out here, and they are playing hard. Terry Bassett is with the Dolphins, Vice President of Merchandising and Development. What is today all about, Terry?
Thank you. Today's all about having fun. While the team and the organization is over at Wembley Stadium, we thought we'd just throw a big party for all the folks that couldn't make it to Wembley and give them a place to come out and have some fun and join together and watching the game at 1 o'clock.
Give me a flavor of what you're going to find out here if you come through the gates at 1, if you're a season ticket holder.
Well, turn Dolphin Stadium a little bit into a little bit of London, I guess I would say. We've got taxi rides and authentic London taxis. We've got a double-decker bus. We're having a cricket match, as you can see. And then we've also obviously have the Dolphin experience, from cheerleaders to alumni for autographs. You can get on the field here later today once the cricket match is over. Then locker room tours. Back to the London theming, we're going to have a little bit of London cuisine. Not sure exactly what that is, and I'm sure that we'll have some London ale also.
And I'm sure by the afternoon you will be well acquainted with what London cuisine is. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So if you're feeling a little bit displaced, left behind, come out to Dolphin Stadium. As always on a Sunday, you can watch the game on the big screen or in the club level. Even if you're not a club season ticket holder, they're going to invite you up there to check it out. Adam and Joe, I think your vantage point's a little bit better, but this is a fun place to watch it. Back to you.
Hey, Andrew, we're sorry you couldn't be here, but you know what? At least it's warm over there. She's got that going.
No, that's going.
Yeah.
We're having a good time. I will tell you, it's been a lot of work, especially for you, but it's been a lot of fun.
Well, they got London Ale over there. That caught your attention.
Boy,
I noticed
did
that.
it. Boy, that was good.
All right, Joe. Well, Jason Taylor is larger than life back in South Florida, that's for sure. He's the Dolphins' biggest star. He's a major contributor in the community, but now the same goes for JT in London, literally thanks to a 26-foot mechanical moving statue.
3, 2, 1. Wake up, BJT!
It's as tall as 2 double-decker buses stacked on top of each other, 4 times the size of the real Jason Taylor, and the first of its kind. It is the animatronic Jason Taylor, a massive figure that took 10 months to build, roaming the streets of London now all week long.
It's good for us, it's good for the league. And I'll be excited to see it in person.
But since Taylor and his teammates wouldn't get a chance to see the 26-foot JT in person until right before the game, we brought the video to them.
Well, they got one thing right. The head is big.
I didn't think his head could get any bigger, though.
Oh, it blows up, trust me. It gets bigger.
I heard about this thing, but I thought it was like a big robot. I mean, this thing is lifelike.
That was a messed up neck right there.
It's a big old dummy.
26-foot version of Jason Taylor. You think it's accurate right on or what?
It's too big. Look at all this. He's got a bicep, he has a tricep. Jason don't have none of that. He got some big old shit.
He's an intimidating guy. You know, I don't know about the facial expression, but
he doesn't always have that like scary looking face on it. It's like a Halloween face.
Yeah, it's like a Halloween face, but so for the most part, you know, I think they did a great job.
Yeah, my teeth are white in there at least. That's good, but I think it's close enough. The artist did a pretty good job.
When the frighteningly giant JT was unveiled at a popular town square in London, people passing by were very fascinated by it, but the opinion that counts the most is that of Mrs. Jason Taylor.
But I think it's quite amazing, and I cannot wait to see it. You know, that it's robotic and it walks, and, you know, I think that's pretty cool.
Supposedly that thing cost $1 million to put together, and it's actually hovering around the fans by the tailgate zone. Did you see it, Joe?
Yeah, that's the way you promote the National Football League. Wayne Huizinga said earlier he thinks they might get rid of it after that because the game will be leaving for a year. Maybe it'd be a good time to bring it home.
They love JT in South Florida. They love him here. Nothing changes. All right, stay tuned. Miami Dolphins All Access will be back after this.
Straight ahead on the Big Share, when it comes to spreading the gospel of football, the Dolphin cheerleaders prove to be worthy ambassadors. We'll follow their travels across the United Kingdom up next on Miami Dolphins All Access, live in London.
Welcome back to a special edition of Miami Dolphins All Access live from London, where fans from all over the world are here to see the big match, a football game, American football, the Giants and Dolphins at Wembley Stadium. Players will take the pitch in about 40 minutes, but they're not the only ones who have been very, very busy this weekend. The cheerleaders have been here all week. They got here on Monday, and I'll tell you what, they've been performing, holding dance clinics, doing everything. We caught up with them at Virgin Records, where they had a lot of attention from all the British folks out here. This popular record store, the first one ever opened in England, and it was a perfect place to recruit new Dolph fans.
awesome because most of the girls that come here, they don't expect it. They think they'll go to an appearance and there'll be like 2 people there. When we get there, it's a huge crowd. It's a really, really great thing. It's sometimes even bigger than the crowds that we get back at home.
It's definitely different. They're not sure what to expect, I think, but they're all smiles and they're very sweet. And we just encourage them that, you know, they can interact with us and have a good time watching.
All right, Miami Dolphins All Access is still motoring on. Don't worry, Joe didn't leave. He'll be back after this. He's getting ready for the big game coming up. He's doing, the announcements on the radio. Announcements. Sounds like you're going to school or something. He's doing the color analysis. We'll be back after this.
Coming up, oh, home, sweet home, South Florida. No, England, of course. Well, at least for one Dolphins player. We'll have the story when we return to Miami Dolphins All Access live in London.
And welcome back to Miami Dolphins All Access, all Big Ben, right next to the Parliament and all the other wonderful sights of London that we've had a chance to enjoy over the last couple of days. Been a lot of fun. And now, next time when there isn't a football game, we'll come over and really enjoy this place.
That
but
sounds good.
There is more business at hand.
Absolutely. And while about 60 Dolphins players traveled to a foreign land for a football game, one player was actually coming home. That's Dolphins wide receiver Marvin Allen, a London native, who really will show you that coming across the pond to play American football isn't as easy as it sounds. Marvin Allen doesn't fit the mold of a typical Miami Dolphin. He never played high school football, or college for that matter, although you wouldn't know it from watching him play. But as soon as you hear him talk, it's clear what makes him unique.
If I told someone I was a football player back home, pretty much they would assume I meant, I was a soccer player. And once they found out I was an American football player, they probably, think I was
crazy.
Yeah.
Allen's home is London, England, where kids don't normally dream of playing American football. But he grew up around the game, thanks to his father, who coached in NFL Europe, where Marvin got his professional start.
It's difficult to prove yourself in the NFL, period, for any player, especially being a free agent. And then a free agent European who didn't play high school collegiate football. It's tough.
Allen joined the Dolphins this summer as their international practice squad player after one season in Pittsburgh in the same role. His life in the NFL is very modest. He lives across the street from the Finns training complex and walks home. But this week we showed him a detour, taking a quick ride over to the quarterdeck in Davie for a taste of America.
I try and stay healthy. It's difficult though because a lot of this is like fast food. It's like, here's some fast food, eat more.
Besides a few jokes, Allen says his teammates don't really give him a hard time about his accent. But you've got to wonder if they've ever seen him eat fries with a fork.
Have you found that Americans have a warped sense of what happens in London because of the movies maybe or TV shows?
Definitely. They do. In particular, the weather. Like everybody always they think they assume it's like foggy and like
London fog. Come on.
Yeah, like the Industrial Revolution or something like that.
Today, Allen's mom will attend her first American football game, and he's hoping it'll help her accept the fact that he passed up on college to pursue his dream.
When I told her that, she kind of gave me that, you sure you know what you're doing face. So now maybe she'll see, just how important it is to the American culture. Maybe she'll say, okay, I understand, why he's put so much of his time and effort into it.
Every week, Allen writes a column for MiamiDolphins.com, giving fans some rare insight from the mind of a player. He's a thoughtful guy and clearly appreciates his job. But it's got to be tough being almost 5,000 miles away from home.
Sometimes I think about it and I just think to myself, how the hell am I going to get back there or get to a place where I can make some money there? Because everything that I've done so far, I can't make any money. I can't make any money playing football or having a successful career at home. So when I do go home, I kind of savor it now.
That's tough. And just to tell you where this game stands here in England, Marvin Allen came out for the press conference, and the guy next to me, a BBC reporter, asked me who he was. Nobody has any clue. That just shows you the sport isn't really high on the totem pole out here in London.
Well, we still have one more thing to talk about, and that, of course, is our all-access question of the week from Steve in Biscayne. His question is for quarterback Cleo Lemon, how much of a distraction will it be for the team to play this game in London? Good question, Steve, and here's Cleo's answer.
All right, thanks for the question. You know, the long trip to London, it's going to be kind of difficult for us to make the adjustment to the time difference. But for the most part, you know, we're focused in on a business trip, you know, to come in and get our first win of the season. So it's going to be a little distraction, but, you know, not that much. And, you know, hopefully we'll come in and do a good job and get our first win of the year.
To rather keep it sticking. All right, Joe. You know, it's been an amazing trip, just a successful one so far. Now the key is, can the Dolphins get that first win? I mean, what a great way to cap this off if they could actually perform better than everyone expects. People are counting them out so far.
Been a lot of fun. No Zach, he didn't make the trip. Obviously, Ronnie Brown blew out his knee last week. They're going to have to play almost a perfect game to have a chance, but that's the way it's going to be the rest of the season. But I've really had a lot of fun over the last couple of days. It's been great.
You think this will work in the future?
Yes, I think we're going to see a lot more of it.
Yeah, Wayne told us probably 2 games internationally next year. So for now, we're going to say goodbye and say thank you for watching our special edition of Miami Dolphins All Access live from London. For Joe, I'm Adam. We'll see you next week. Cheers.